just got done watching the first 2 episodes of Creature Commandos, and so the first 2 episodes aired on day 1 of the show, and that makes it a lot easier for me to review, because that gives me more to talk about the show. So Creature Commandos is the first project into James Gunn's new DC universe. Not counting the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, the first season, which there's a lot of confusion going around, like that the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker season 1 is canon to Gunn's DCU, but the mentions of the Justice League, like Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller as the Flash and Aquaman, like when Peacemaker was yelling at them, telling Jason Momoa, "Go fuck another fish, asshole." That's not canon. But everything else in Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad and mentions to the Justice League in that movie, in that show, is not canon, which is so damn confusing. Watching the trailer of this show, like, the trailer was like, okay, this looks cool. And I watched the show, and it's a cool show. So far, I'm enjoying the story of the show so far. And there are some concerns with the DCU, like have the same actor for all mediums in Gunn's DCU, to gaming, animation, and live action, which is a little bit concerning for me, because you can be a good on-screen actor, but you may not be a good voice actor. And you may be a good voice actor, but you may not be a good actor on the screen. Because being a voice actor is still work, but it's a lot less work than being an actor on screen, because you're just reading on a sheet of paper, and when you're an actor on screen, you have to memorize all the lines and all that, and it's a lot harder to be on screen, and it's a different technique when you're on screen, when you're in a microphone reading on a sheet of paper. So that had me a little bit concerned, because Viola Davis, who's been Amanda Waller in live action, is voicing Amanda Waller in Creature Commandos. And she did a good job, but Viola Davis is still a much better actress. I'm not sure if it's sexist to say actress, but whatever. Still does a good job voicing the Amanda Waller. Like, Viola Davis is a great actress. She's really talented. She does a great job as Amanda Waller. Creature Commandos is an animated show, and just to tell you, it is not a kid's show. Like, this show has profanity, it has sex in it, and it has gore in it. So, not the best show for someone who's not even in high school yet. But, like, make sure you have a set of pubes and chest hair and facial hair before watching Creature Commandos. It's a pretty raunchy show, and the show may not be for everyone, because the show has sexual humor and dick jokes and all that type of humor, that type of humor may not be for everyone. Like, Like, some people criticized Peacemaker for being too dick jokey and poop jokey at times, and that makes sense. But if you're someone who's like annoyed, who doesn't like Peacemaker that much because it was too immature, then Creature Commandos may not be for you. But I still had fun with Creature Commandos. Like, I'm not loving the show just yet, but it is off to a promising start. The show right now, I think it's gonna have like 7 episodes, and they're not airing yet. Even though the show is off to a decent start, the show can go downhill, which I doubt that would happen. Like, the Knuckles show, like, the first episode was okay, pretty good, and then the show just went downhill immediately. Get really cheesy and weird, which I doubt that will happen with Creature Commandos, because it's James Gunn. He knows what he's doing, and I'm very impressed with James Gunn. While he's not perfect with confusion about what's canon and what's not, James Gunn's not perfect, but he's doing a really good job running DC right now. I'm very impressed with him, and he's doing a great job, and I wish Star Wars would get a James Gunn in the future. Creature Commandos is a really enjoyable show, and I enjoyed the humor in it, and I'm starting to get interested in the characters. Like, one of them's G.I. Robot, who's obsessed with killing Nazis, and Bride Frankenstein, who's like a sexy female Frankenstein, and Rick Flag Sr., and I'm not, like, the first 2 episodes are mainly fleshing out Bride Frankenstein's character primarily. Like, they haven't fleshed out the other characters yet. And the thing about a TV show, like, is that it's a lot easier to flesh out a whole cast of characters easier in a TV show format than a movie format, because when you have a movie, you only have like 2-3 hours, but with a TV show, you can flesh out a whole group of characters and make them interesting. And this show does work as, I can tell that the show works much better as an animated TV show. And the show reminds me of a Cartoon Network from early 2010s, to a Cartoon Network show from the early 2010s and 2000s, whatever that's called. And like, the intro of the show, like, is so catchy. It reminds me of like 2000s Cartoon Network, which it gave the whole sense of nostalgia with the intro of Creature Commandos. It gave me a whole sense of early 2010, 2009 nostalgia. Like, the theme song is catchy, just like with Peacemaker. I think the only flaw is, the one flaw that I'm having so far is the transition from, I guess, an emotional scene to a more comedic scene. Like, I wish they transitioned to that better. But like, I'm not going to go spoil because it's a good show so far, and I have a gut feeling just that the show's going to get better later on. And I'm not like laughing my ass off with the jokes yet, and I'm not like getting totally invested, but I was like, alright, I'm enjoying this so far. This is pretty good. Like, this is like an appetizer before Gunn's new DCU, before the next Superman that's coming the next summer. And There are still other concerns, like how are they going to transition, how they're going to have gaming and animation, have gaming with storylines that's in the new cinematic universe, because not every moviegoer plays video games or own a current gen console or anything like that. And what if there's a movie that comes out that requires homework, where you have to play through a 20-hour, 30-hour story-driven game, and you don't own a current gen console or a console at all, and you have to spend $500 and $60 plus for that game in order to pay half $1,000 for homework. Like, I don't know how they're going to execute gaming in the new DCU, but, and Gunn haven't announced them, which makes sense because James Gunn doesn't want to shit out shitty mobile games. He wants them to be full-fledged console games, which he hasn't announced them yet. And I don't blame him, but there are still some concerns and questions to ask James Gunn about with gaming and all that. But so far, I'm really enjoying Creature Commandos. It's a fun show. It's like, it gives me the reaction of, alright, this is really good, I'm enjoying this so far type of show. And I plan on reviewing the rest of the show later once all the episodes are out and the whole season wrapped up. But this video is basically about the first 2 episodes, about the premiere of that show. And I'm enjoying the show, and James Gunn's, like, this show completely tells me that, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 gave me that saying, but after watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, like, with James Gunn running DC, like, that movie, like, gave me, James Gunn got this. And after watching Creature Commandos, it's like, yep, I was right, I'm enjoying this so far. Creature Commandos, it's a good show so far, and I can't wait to watch the rest of the show. I'm looking forward to it. This is the Cinetroller signing out. Have a good one. Goodbye.